Welcome to this training module on the Husqvarna Z500 Zero Turn Mower. The Z500 is a versatile, agile mower designed to handle big mowing jobs quickly and efficiently, while providing a comfortable experience for the operator. As you will see, the Z500 is a zero-turn mower, meaning that it's capable of a 360-degree turn within its own footprint. But like all mowers, the Z500 is a powerful piece of equipment that should be used safely in accordance with the instructions contained in the owner's manual. If used incorrectly, serious injury can potentially occur to you and others. This module will help you learn how to operate and maintain the mower properly and safely. While this training session will provide a good overview, you should read the owner's manual before operating the mower. If you have questions, be sure to ask your supervisor, and don't take risks. If you're not sure about something, ask. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the mower's basic parts. Here are the engine compartment, mower deck, left and right steering controls and parking brake, tracking controls, fuel tanks, fuel gauges for fuel tank caps, fuel tank selector, fuel shutoff valve, choke control, fuses, ignition switch, which starts the engine, throttle control, which controls engine speed, blade switch, seat adjustment lever, deck lift pedal, deck release pedal, rollover protection system, or ROPS bar, seat belt. Make sure you read the owner's manual to learn more about these and other parts of the Z500, as well as operating techniques, maintenance, and safety. Safety is vitally important when using the Husqvarna Z500 or any other zero-turn mower. That includes operating and servicing the machine properly, but you should also understand the personal protective equipment that should be used with the Z500. Recommended PPE includes ear protection, eye protection, and safety boots, or other approved footwear. If you need to handle the blades, always wear gloves. You should also be sure to wear proper clothing when you operate the mower. Don't wear baggy clothing or anything with loose sleeves or strings. These could get caught up in the mower's moving parts and injure you quickly and seriously. You should also wear long pants. Shorts leave your lower legs more vulnerable to debris that might fly up from the grass during mowing. Okay, let's get back to the mower. The first step will be to fuel up the machine. You should do this outside on even ground. Do not fuel the machine indoors. Gas fumes and spilled gas can be toxic and are a potential fire hazard. Always be sure to keep the machine away from any type of open flame or spark when fueling. Extinguish cigarettes, cigars, and other potential sources of ignition. Also, don't fuel the machine when the engine is hot. If you're in the middle of a job and need to add fuel, give the mower some time to cool down before you fill it up, or you might burn yourself on the hot mower components or damage the mower. To add fuel, make sure the engine is off and the parking brake is engaged. If the machine has been running, remove the fuel cap slowly and carefully to release any pressure in the tank. Add fuel carefully and slowly so you don't spill any on the unit or the ground. Keep the nozzle in contact with the rim of the fuel tank at all times. It's important to leave some space in the tank when you fuel it up. As the mower works and heats up, the gas in the tank will heat up as well and expand. Leave room to accommodate the expanding liquid. If you do spill fuel, clean it up immediately using an approved oil soak product. Make sure you clean it off of the mower before operating it again. And if you spill on your clothes, change them. Spilled fuel is highly flammable and a serious safety risk. Do not start the mower near spilled fuel. Now that the mower is fueled up, we can start the engine. Before you start the mower up, Take a look around and make sure there are no stones or other bits of debris in the area that can be picked up and thrown by the mower blades. Also, watch out for bystanders or vehicles that may be in the area. As a general precaution, the blade switch must be pressed down into the disengage position before you start the engine. The two steering and parking brake controls must be in the locked or outer position. You should adjust the seat to your preferred position before you start the mower. To start the Z500, sit on the seat. Raise the mower deck to the transport position by pushing the lift pedal forward. Disengage the mower blades by pressing the blade switch down. Move the twin steering sticks to the locked or outer position to activate the parking brake. Move the throttle control to the middle position. If the engine is cold, pull the choke control up. Set the fuel tank valve to the desired tank. Set the deck height pin in the desired position. Press in and turn the ignition key to the start position. When the engine starts, immediately release the ignition key back to the run position. If you open the choke to start the engine, slowly push the choke control knob in. Now let the engine run at a moderate speed, somewhere around middle throttle, for a short time. When mowing, use the full throttle position with no choke. Running a full throttle tends to deliver the best cut, and it is easier on the engine because the engine fan will run at the optimal speed. To shut off the engine, come to a complete stop and then disengage the blades by pushing in the blade switch. If the mower has been running for a while, let it idle for a short time so it can come down to a normal operating temperature. With the blades disengaged, push the steering and parking brake controls outward into the locked position. Then raise the mower deck and move the throttle to the minimum position. Finally, turn the ignition key to the stop position. You should remove the key when you shut the mower off to avoid theft or unauthorized use. Steering. The mower uses two steering control levers for direction. When the controls are in the neutral position, the mower stands still. To move forward, push the steering controls forward together. To move backwards, gently pull the two steering controls back together. It is not recommended to go backwards. If you genuinely have no other choice, always be sure to look behind, to the side, and down before and during backward operation. Turning while moving forward is a matter of adjusting one lever or another slightly. Think of pushing and turning a shopping cart. To turn right while going forward, gently pull the right steering control back toward the neutral position. This will slow the wheel rotation on the right side, causing the mower to turn. To turn left while going forward, gently pull the left steering control back to the neutral position. You can perform a zero turn by pulling one control or the other back behind the neutral position while keeping the other lever pushed forward. To perform a zero turn to the right, keep the left steering control in the forward position and ease the right control back to behind the neutral position. To perform a zero turn to the left, pull the left steering control back while maintaining the right steering control in the forward position. With the Z500's powerful hydraulic system, the mower can turn very, very quickly, so be careful when trying to perform a zero turn. Mowing. It's important to survey your site before you start mowing. Long grass can hide rocks, debris, and other objects that can get in the way and cause damage. You won't always find everything, but it's important to scout the terrain before you begin. After doing a site check, our operator prepares to begin mowing. He started the engine as outlined earlier. At the moment, the parking brake is still engaged. Our operator pulls the steering controls to the neutral position to release the parking brake. Now the operator releases the deck height control by pushing the cutting pedal forward to the cutting height he wants. The cutting height can be set from 1 inch to 5 inches. To set the deck cutting height, press the button on the top of the height pin to remove it. Slip the height pin into the hole for the cutting height you want. Release the deck height pedal by pushing it forward. Generally speaking, if the grass is really tall, you may want to cut it twice. Once at a higher setting and then again at a lower setting, until you get the cut you want. Ask your supervisor if you have questions. The Z500 is designed for efficient mowing. The best mowing tends to come from using a high blade speed. You can move fairly quickly, but pay attention to how effective your cut is. If grass is very thick, you may have to adjust your speed and go a bit slower than you would in normal conditions. When mowing a large area, start by turning to the right. This way, grass clippings won't blow onto roads, sidewalks, or flower beds. After 2 or 3 rounds, you can switch to the opposite direction. Obviously, different sites will have different landscaping features. You may have to adjust your pattern to avoid spraying clippings on them. It's generally not a good idea to mow wet grass. The mower's wheels may sink into the soft grass, which could cause clumps that may stick to the underside of the mower. Slopes and hills. Slopes and hills create a potential and serious rollover risk if mowed incorrectly. They should be mowed very carefully. Do not mow across slopes with the Z500. Mow up and down slopes and do so at a slow ground speed. Avoid turning, stopping, or starting on slopes. If you must turn, don't allow the mower deck to be on higher ground than you are. Keep the mower deck on the lower ground. On particularly difficult turns, shut the blades off before turning. Also, avoid sudden changes of speed or direction on slopes. You should not attempt to mow any slope that is steeper than 10 degrees. Ask your supervisor for instruction if you are not sure whether you should mow a slope. Watch out for holes, ruts, bumps, and other obstacles that might cause a tip over. Inspect tall grass before you attempt to mow on a slope. Also, never try to stabilize or balance the mower by putting a foot on the ground. Finally, don't mow near drop-offs, ditches, or embankments. If slopes are steep or you feel uncomfortable, avoid using the Z500 on them altogether and use other equipment more suitable for the condition. Also, take extra care when mowing near bodies of water. One of the hazards of mowing embankments is the potential for slipping. If you are not sure how to mow near water, ask a supervisor. Using a Z500 is the same as using any other zero-turn mower. It takes practice, and you should be extremely careful until you become comfortable operating the machine. It will take time to get the feel of the controls, steering, and speed. Go slowly and learn to use the mower safely with help from your supervisor. It's important for the operator to make sure the mower is in good working condition before each use. Look for wear on the wheels and other parts, and check that all nuts and bolts are tight. Pay special attention to blade attachments and check the blades for sharpness. Sharp blades produce a cleaner, more efficient cut. Also, check the grass catcher components and discharge guard before each use, as well as the parking brake. You will also want to check the engine oil. Ask your supervisor to show you the procedure. Be sure to wait until all moving parts come to a stop and the machine cools down before checking engine oil on the job. In most cases, you won't be required to do the maintenance on the mower. But if you need to do repairs at any point, make sure the engine is turned off. Clean grass clippings and dirt off of the machine after every use. The Z500, like other lawn mowers and power equipment, can potentially be dangerous if used incorrectly. The blades move very fast and can cause serious, even fatal injuries. Anyone who uses the mower should respect it, follow the safety instructions in the owner's manual, and be careful. As a general rule, always cut with the mower deflector in the down position. We'll approach safety in terms of 3 areas: personal hazards, bystander hazards, and property hazards. Personal hazards. We define a personal hazard as any hazard that can cause injury to you personally. Your personal safety starts with personal protective equipment. Make sure you have what you need to protect yourself long before you start mowing. You need to be careful when transporting the mower. If you load it up and down on a ramp, work with a partner when possible and always be careful. Make sure you wear your seatbelt when the roll bar is in the upright position. Also, make sure you pay attention as you mow. Don't get distracted or lost in the rhythm of the work, or you might not notice a rock, hole, or other obstructions in the way. Stay focused and don't go too fast. It only takes a second for an incident to happen and for your life to be completely changed for the worse. Remember to be gentle with steering. Don't go too aggressive with the steering controls. The machine can turn very quickly. Do not make adjustments to the mower unless it is turned off and the parking brake is engaged. Also, always keep your hands and feet away from the rotating blades, the underside of the machine, and the discharge opening. Again, it only takes a second for an accident to happen. Do not run the mower indoors or in spaces without ventilation. The exhaust fumes contain carbon monoxide, which is an odorless, colorless, and potentially lethal gas. When mowing, be aware of tree branches or brush that might hit you in the face. Always wear your eye protection. Finally, remember that the engine and exhaust system can become very hot during operation. Let the machine cool down before refueling, making adjustments, or transport. Bystander hazards. Bystander hazards are hazards that might hurt people around you. First and foremost, watch for people, whether they are coworkers or clients, as you work. People can appear very suddenly and without warning. The Z500 can also move quickly, which might not leave you a lot of time to avoid a collision. Your ear protection and the engine noise may also make it hard to hear what's going on around you, so keep your eyes open and stay alert when operating the mower. Watch for children in particular. Children are sometimes interested in the machine and might approach you. Even if it's not running, be careful. The blades are sharp and the engine can be hot. Keep children away from the mower and out of the mowing area. The blades may also throw heavy or sharp objects like rocks and debris. This is another good reason to keep a safe distance from your coworkers and other bystanders. It's also one of the reasons why we do a sight check before we start. It may seem obvious, but it's worth cautioning that you should never, ever take passengers on the mower. The Z500 is intended for the operator only. Passengers can unbalance the mower. They can also lose their own balance and fall off, with potentially disastrous consequences. Property hazards. Property hazards are hazards that might damage the property, including the mower. Again, debris thrown by mower blades is a primary hazard in this case. You can damage nearby vehicles, break windows, or tear up gardens with rocks or other objects. Be on the lookout for debris in your mowing path. You can also damage terrain if the cutting height is too low and you go over a dip or bump. If you drive too fast or don't have good control of the steering, you can cause damage to property, buildings, fences, and vehicles. Make sure you mow at a speed you can handle, and be careful with turns. Losing control of the mower, especially in tight quarters or at high speeds, can cause serious property damage. Needless to say, all of the above can cause damage to the mower as well. Damaging a client's property can be a very costly mistake. At very least, you might lose the client. At worst, you could be looking at extremely expensive repairs and even lawsuits. Be vigilant and be careful. The Rollover Protection System, or ROP system, is designed to protect you if the mower rolls over. If your machine has one, keep the ROPS bar in the raised and locked position. Check carefully for overhead clearance, specifically trees, electrical wires, or passageways. Remember, never fold the ROPS bar unless absolutely necessary, and only with the approval of your supervisor. Never cut on a slope without the ROPS bar in the normal upright position. Always wear your seatbelt while cutting with the ROPS bar in the normal upright position. If the ROPS bar is folded down, do not wear your seatbelt. As we mentioned earlier, it's best to work with a partner when loading the mower using a ramp. Do not attempt to turn the mower while it's on a ramp, and always be careful to avoid sudden acceleration or deacceleration, as both could cause the mower to tip over. When the unit is on the trailer, make sure the parking brake is engaged and the mower is secured using straps. If it isn't secured, it can shift and cause serious damage. The Husqvarna Z500 is an effective and powerful mowing tool. Use the tips throughout the module to make sure you get the most from your mower and that you keep yourself and those around you safe while you use it. For further information, consult your owner's manual or speak to your supervisor.